On today's episode of Roundtable with Steve, we have two local entrepreneurs who explain to you the importance of giving back to the community. We also have our reporter Shelia Lourdes at the Zoe Winter Groove event in Miramar, Florida, and she has interviews with Nicole Murphy, Alonzo Mourning, Anthony Anderson, and many, many more. Welcome to Roundtable with Steve. I'm your host, Steve Barrow. Today we have with us Paula Scott from PS Youth Outreach Center, and we have Patti Mason from Happy Love Inc. Let's start with you, Paula. Tell me, what is it that makes you give back to the community? What enjoyment do you get from giving back to the community?
Well, mine is more of a passion. PS Youth Outreach Center is a nonprofit organization, and we've been around for 7 years. A lot of people think about starting a nonprofit, and they think, oh yeah, we could write for these grants, we can get paid, and it's money involved. So yes, there is sometimes, but there's a lot of giving. A lot of times we provide free services, and that's just how it is. The services have to go on, the students are coming in. So for me, it's about passion and just something that I love to do. I love to see the outcome of the students actually, growing and actually becoming positive citizens. So that's why I do what I do.
Okay, and what is it for you, Patti?
Well, Happy Love Inc. is based in Miami Gardens, and basically what we'll be doing is providing tutoring and leadership and life skills for various women. It more or less be women empowerment for local women and teenagers. So
is it more like a welfare to work type situation like we saw back in the 90s?
Well, yes, what we'll be doing is donating clothes for those who are less fortunate, even to the foster parents. When they're taking in kids, I was once a foster parent. So I understand that when you receive these kids that they don't have any clothes, and so we'll be collecting donations from local other organizations and stores.
Okay, that's good. And how long have you been doing this?
On my own for like 6 years. However, everything's rolling now in regards to us becoming official, a nonprofit organization, 501c3.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
And Paula, tell me some of the things that you have going on in Lauderdale Lakes.
Well, as I stated, we've been around for 7 years. We provide tutoring as well, after-school program, a lot of one-on-one services where students go, to the larger organizations where they pretty much group them as if they're in school. What we do is give them more individualized attention. We communicate with teachers, and we just give it a personal feel. It's like a little family here at PSU. And I take great pride in being there at the forefront. Every day you go there, you'll see me. I'm the administrator, but I do everything as well. Very involved, not very hands-on. So, it takes a lot, having a family myself and, kids in different levels. I have a child that's in college, one that's heading to high school, and actually one that's getting to kindergarten. So it's a lot of giving. So when you talk about giving back, that's why I was so excited about actually, joining this roundtable with you, just to, talk about the whole, it's a joy. When you give back, you don't give to receive, but you naturally do. Because, not only the outcome of seeing the children grow up and becoming so positive and confident, but also, you get the pat on the back, the accolades within the community. We had an official actually come by this past week, and she stated, you've been doing this a long time. Now it's time for the city to really recognize you. So that's good. That feels good as well. But that's not really why we do this. We do this from the heart, and because we love to see the positive growth within the community.
All right. And how did you get started? What was it that made you go ahead and start your organization, and how did you start?
Okay, well, I'm a single parent. I've been a single parent since my kids were 2 and 4. They're now 18 and 20, and they both attend University of Utah. And during the time of being a single parent, I was a foster parent for therapeutic kids, and always had kids around me, and I've seen what a difference I made in their lives, even to when they wanted me to adopt the kids as to be a permanent parent. I nurtured them while their parents got it together and attended their drug rehab classes and so forth, and they were returned back with their natural mom, and they still stay in touch with me today.
Okay, now, this is a little bit off the subject, but University of Utah?
Yes.
It's just, the reason why I say that is because it's not the traditional college that you would hear, you know, young black people going to. So, you know, that's why, what made your kids choose that particular school?
Well, my best friend, who was a resident of Miami Gardens, she relocated. So when my daughter was looking for which college, which university to attend, she did get selected to go to New York, AMDA, but she chose not to go there. She wanted a slower pace environment. So we chose the University of Utah for her, and it's working out.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's very
it's
good.
Working out.
That's very good.
They just got free advertisement.
There you go. And how did you get started, Paula?
Oh my gosh, I have such a story. When I first graduated, I have a criminal justice degree, bachelor's. My first work within the community was with the Urban League of Broward County, which I love that organization. They gave me a lot of experience, you know, the first time actually going and doing one-on-one with students and just working my way up. The first program that I worked with, I was a mentor coordinator. And, you know, work with Department of Education to seek mentees, you know, who had certain barriers. They had low grades, whatever it was, if it was on the verge of dropping out, stuff like that. So we'd find the mentees first, which was not very hard to do, you know, a lot of students with those, with needs. And then, of course, recruit mentors, which was the harder part, you know, finding people to commit for at least 6 months to stay with these students, to, you know, to be with them at least once per week, you know, recreational stuff, helping them with homework, stuff like that. So I worked on that program for about a year, and then I moved on to Workforce One, still through the Urban League as a subcontractor, and I did youth counselor. And through that position, I had to screen students who wanted to get, they were like 16, 15, 16. A lot of them were dropouts. You know, they wanted to get jobs. They were going to Sears, they were going to all these different companies. And they'd be hired, you know, of course, short term. But what I'd say to them is, why'd you drop out? And what they said to me most of the time was, you know, Miss Scott, my counselor told me to drop out. With no recourse, no alternatives, nothing. They just dropped out. And of course, let's find a job. So me, I'm like, you need to do something. Get your GED or something, you know. And I would research these alternative schools. Why don't you try this, you know? And I kept seeing it over and over, and it's like, you know, it's a knock. And that's where I said, oh, you know, I have to do something. And that's when I had the idea to start PS Youth. And initially, you know, I was catering to that age group, 15 to say 21, 22. But then I had so many parents coming to me, oh, we need services for the younger ones. And that's when I started the after school and the tutoring, started contracting with Department of Education to do the SES tutoring. By then I'd gotten my master's in public administration. So I had, you know, a lot of the inside information on the nonprofit organizations, running the public administration offices and such. I also worked through Department of Transportation, which gave me an exposure to grant writing, because I was overseeing grants. So I'd see the applications and, you know, kind of like self-taught. And that helped me because then, you know, I knew where to research for grants and such. So I put it all together, and, you know, I had another knock, by God, I say, because I had this accident. I was in charge of, Steve, you probably don't even know this story, but I was in charge of 5 districts for District 4 for Department of Transportation. And I was traveling, I think it was Jupiter I was headed back from, and I got into this accident. And the accident, I'm telling you, it changed my life. It was like a wake-up call, like, what are you doing? The car turned and it hit the median, and, you know, it caused, even though I didn't hit anyone, because there was something in the road. I think it was a tire or something. And the lady behind me, I remember, was an older lady, She tried to go over it, and it caused like a ricochet. There was like domino effect, like 5-car pile up. And I said I was safe. I wasn't injured. And that's like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I was driving, you know, almost 3 hours for like a 5-minute meeting. And to me, I didn't have that passion for that. And that's when I finally left, that's what I said to my boss. I'm not passionate about this position. It's really not what I want to do. And then, you know, by then I was already writing my plan. I didn't have a sound business plan like most people say you should. You have to have a plan that's, you know, my plan was just God saying, this is what you need to do. And it just so happened that I did everything the right time. And again, we've been here for 7 years. So, you know, sometimes you just have to go out and just follow your dream, follow your passion, and everything else will work out. So that's my story.
Okay, and as you guys know, we just did a piece earlier this, well, actually late last year, since this is January, with Alonzo Mourning at the Zoe Winter Groove, and I asked him the same questions, and these are some of his answers.
I think it's extremely important, you know, because it gives us an opportunity to educate and enhance the community on so many different levels, you know. So giving is contagious, and the more you give, the more it encourages others to give as well.
This episode is brought to you in part by Breezin' of Pompano Beach. Come out and enjoy the networking event on Friday nights. Mix and mingle with business professionals in our spacious indoor and outdoor area. Breezin' is also available to host any occasion that you're celebrating.
Okay, Patti, tell me about some of the stuff that you have going on down in Miami Gardens area.
In Miami Gardens, I have Excluzia hair. We're creating our own hairline, and what we're looking to again do is give back to the community, whether or not it's for lupus or breast cancer, where we can donate and contribute our hair weave to those who are losing their hair through treatments.
So how would a person get in touch with you if they wanted to either donate some funds, or even if they needed to get the hair because of treatment that they have going on?
Well, they can find me on Instagram at Excluzia Hair. That's EXCLUZIA hair. Exclusive with all in mind.
All right. And Paula, what else do you have going on in Lauderdale Lakes area?
Well, it seems like you want me to mention my upcoming event. We do have an event coming up. It's titled Forever Young, because we are forever young. And it also is, in addition to being a fundraiser for PS Youth, where all the proceeds, not 50, not 20, 100% of the proceeds will go towards PS Youth's academic program. It also is a celebration of my birthday, my milestone birthday. I won't tell you the actual age, but you can guess. I'm a college student, so
25.
It started early. So that's coming up Saturday, January 31st, 2015. It'll be from 8 p.m. to 3, it's a late party, but you know, we have fun at our events. We give a lot of prizes. If you can find out more information at www.psyouth.org, and that's PSYOUTH.org. All the information is there. We have sponsorship packets as well if you're interested in helping us out. Even if you don't attend, you can donate towards the cause. So, you know, find out more about PS Youth there as well.
Okay, and you know, you just you mentioned earlier about working alongside the school board and things like that in Broward County. We actually got a chance to speak to Broward County Mayor Barbara Sharief, and this is some of the things that she had to say.
Well, on a regular basis, we have programs like the Boys and Girls Club, the YMCA. We have other community outreach programs and sports programs that really emphasize health and wellness in our community. Broward County has a great infrastructure for health and wellness.
Welcome back. Another thing that we want to talk about is small business. Most people don't understand that you just have to get the ball rolling. I mean, let's be for real. As both ladies told you guys already, that it wasn't you know, like $1 million or anything like that to get going. They didn't have a huge team. They didn't have all these other things that that people say, oh, you need to have this. I mean, get up, make it happen, get going. There's no excuse. What would you say to an entrepreneur that wants to get into your field? I mean, what was your biggest obstacle and how did you overcome it?
Well, as a single parent and working full-time, basically it was to go to hair school, to attend cosmetology school and actually become official and to get my license, as opposed to just saying that I do hair. But when I did attend cosmetology school, the teachers actually had me assisting the students. But again, I wasn't licensed, so that was the biggest obstacle. So I'm glad that I did press forward, you know, change my clothes at a restaurant and then go to work 3 to 11 and turn around and do it the next morning. But it was rewarding and it's official. I have my license and I have a salon and we're actually looking for another location now.
That's good. That's very good.
Great. Thank you.
And what was your biggest obstacle, Paula?
Well, personally, I mean, it was just being brave enough to just step out and do it. You know, having the courage, having the confidence within myself to know that it can be done and it can be done, you know, to the best of my ability and to actually be sustainable. So there is that fear, like we all have that, where it's like, oh, I'm not sure. But if you're really serious about what you have in mind, what you should do is do your research, number one. I'm not going to say just get up and just start a business. Do your research, and if you see that there is a need, the need is the number one thing. And if you can find a way where you create a niche where you're providing something that's different from what everyone else is provided, you know, what makes you different? And make sure that it's something that you are passionate about, not because you see someone else doing it and it looks like it's easy or it's something that it's attractive or, you know, whatever the word you want to use. Don't do it because they're doing it. Do it because it's something that's in you. It's a passion, and I keep saying that word because it means so much. If you're not passionate about something, that whatever you're doing, even if it's for a living, whoever you're with, it's not going to work. So we need that. So that's the number one thing, and actually to get everything in order. The internet is, I mean, everything is there. You can find everything on the internet. So, and also networking, you know, and being among people who are positive. If you want to do something and you believe in yourself and you think that you can do it, but there's someone, even your neighbor, your mom, whoever is saying, no, you can't, you need to kind of distance yourself. I'm not saying like sever the relationship, but in that aspect, don't speak about the business, just do it. Just do whatever you're called to do. So that's my take on it.
So ladies, tell me, what is it that you think that you guys can do, you being in Broward and you being in Miami-Dade, that you can help to bring the community together, especially with things that we have going on right now, where we're seeing so much divide in our community. What do you think you can do to help to bring it together and to help to heal a lot of what's going on in South Florida?
Well, I believe that even me coming from Miami-Dade County and her being in Broward County, that you still have a lot of young men that are without their dads. So if we can come together and formulate an organization that can help these young men to stay out of the judicial system, and show them how to give back so that it doesn't become repetitious in their generations, in the next generation.
That's good. Yeah, okay.
Excellent. Definitely. I always feel like if we work together, you know, Patti, you being from Dade and we're Broward, we all have the common problems. There are a lot of things that we have in common as far as barriers that our students have or our youth encounter. Yeah. So if we all come together and work together and stop being, you know, selfish. A lot of people feel as though, oh, you're going to take my students or you're going to take my population. But there's so many people, so many students, so many families that need services. And if we come together, if we, you know, form a coalition and just we're all on the same page, we're all serving the same population, we all have the same, we're like-minded. Why not work together? And even in form of writing grants, grant makers love to see collaborations. So if we can do that, collaboration, working together, put our egos aside, titles aside, and just, you know, come together as one. It sounds really cliche, but really that's what would work.
So let me ask you then, if let's say someone out there wants to start something in their area, and they would like to collaborate with either one of you guys, are you guys open to that idea? Can they get in contact with you and say, hey, can you show me how to do something? Now, of course, I know you're not going to take 8 hours a day away from your jobs or from your businesses to start something for someone else. Right. But just as like a business mentor kind of thing, where they can ask questions. Is that something that you guys are open to?
Definitely, but I mean, in this industry, you have to be really careful who you're dealing with as well. So of course, I'm going to, look at a character check and make sure the person is reputable and they're doing it for the right reason. A lot of times, nonprofits are scrutinized as, they take money and they don't do what they're supposed to do with it because of people like that. So we have to be mindful. That's a hint for you as well. When you meet people and they want to get into the industry, you have to be careful. But definitely, if I see that they're like-minded and, of course I'm not going to run a background check right away, but if you're going to work with students, then yeah, that's a part of it. But, just definitely, I'm open to actually working with someone to help them, even if it's to get the 501c3. You told me that, you'd call me to ask me. I don't mind, because I can tell that you're somebody who's actually truthful and true to the cause, so I don't mind helping. I don't know everything, so there's been somebody in the past who's helped me, so I don't mind helping someone else.
You're watching RoundTable with Steve.
As I mentioned earlier, we got a chance to speak to Alonzo Mourning at Winter Groove. We also got a chance to speak to Nicole Murphy and hear some of the comments that she had to make about what's going on in her life.
This is your host, Shelia Lourdes, RoundTable with Steve. We got all the amazing interviews. Everyone is here to support this amazing event, health and wellness.
I'm just trying to stay fit and healthy so I can be around and enjoy life.
I work out 4 or 5 times a week. I do try to watch what I eat, juice. I mean, just being a former athlete, it's easy to let it go, but I'm thinking about later on.
I'm here at Zoe's Winter Groove with Nicole Murphy. Nicole, what brings you out here for winter, not the summer groove?
Oh, I know, right? Well, I had to come out here and support Alonzo and Tracy. So I think it's a great event that I'm here for. Fitness and health, wellness, I think is very important. I have 5 children. And I try to instill in them the importance of, eating healthy and staying fit and make it a lifestyle.
What else do you have going on as far as you are concerned, as far as health? Because, a lot of the subconsciousness in media right now for these young women. What would you recommend as far as health and wellness for us?
Well, I think you got to make it a lifestyle. I think I'm really big on juicing. I try to juice every day. And when I mean juicing, I get the kale, spinach, parsley, apple, beets, and I drink it. And you know what? And what happens is my body starts to crave it if I miss it. Yeah, because, and I know I'll eat a salad or whatever, but I notice when I juice, like if I juice a big bag of spinach, I only see this much juice out of that big bag. So imagine when you eat it, you're probably getting a little tiny bit of nutrients from it. So I think it's very important to juice because you get all the antioxidants and it's good for your cells and stuff. So I'm very big on that. And I think, like I said, you got to make it a lifestyle. You got to work out. You have to eat healthy. It's okay to have your junk. I'm a big cookie fanatic. My favorite cookie is oatmeal.
I was going to say, for those that can't, that have those moments of weakness and kind of want to splurge, how do you recommend that they can have best of both worlds?
Well, I do it. I ain't going to lie. I do it. And it's okay. But I know once I do it, I know, okay, I got to get back on track and eat right and come correct. So it's okay. Well, we're also sponsoring the event with my Destiny Moscato. It's called a Jewel Collection. One is called Diamond, the other one's called Ruby. And so I'm really excited about that. And of course, we're going to be out on the golf course tomorrow. Yeah, and yeah, it's going to be interesting.
You're going to show them how the ladies can play golf?
I think I'm going to pull up on the cart and look cute.
I trust me, I think you'll look amazing.
We also got a chance to speak to Commissioner Messam from the city of Miramar and the vice mayor from the city of Miramar. Let's hear what they had to say.
This is an awesome event to be here in the city of Miramar, and we are very pleased to have this event here. When it comes to health and wellness, It is so important for all of us in our families to pay attention, especially during this holiday season when we're doing so much and we're enjoying ourselves so much. Oh wow, I am very proud of the commissioner and all of the other city staff and all of the residents that came out today for this run. We're really appreciative of the support that we have received here. You know what, Commissioner Messam, I'm going to be training with you for the rest of the year. All of next year, I'll be ready.
Thank you so much. As a former commissioner in Miramar, it's been really great. As a candidate for mayor also, I'm glad that the city has put on these types of events and that they are making sure that our facilities are being fully used and our residents are able to come out and enjoy themselves and also be fit in the process. So thank you so much.
Well, I tell you, with the younger kids, they come into this world and they have to be taught. And I think it's up to us as adults, to try to teach them as much as we can, to try to help them understand the importance of enhancing their community. They also, have to take care of their bodies, put the right things in their bodies, and understand the importance of health and fitness. Those are key things, and they have to do right by other people.
And at Zoe Winter Groove, I also got a chance to speak to Tracy Mourning. Alonzo Mourning does a lot in the community. He's a really good guy. But something a lot of you don't know is that Tracy Mourning also gives back a lot with her Honey Shine organization. We'll try to go ahead and get her on the show in a future episode. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Roundtable with Steve. I would like to thank our guests, Patti Mason from Happy Love Incorporated and Paula Scott from PS Youth Outreach Center. Now, remember, we're here every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and you can always watch us by going to our website, roundtablewithsteve.com, and you can click on previous shows. We also have different sections where we have small business tips for the entrepreneurs out there. If there's anything that you would like to know or any show topics, contact us and we will be more than happy to get it done for you. All right? Again, Roundtable with Steve, and you guys have a good week.